Okay, here we go. What's going on out of the YouTube? This is SEO0320 representing JVS. I'm back here again for another review. Giving you guys a slew of different reviews coming up. But this next one is Molly's Game. Honestly, I wasn't really pressed to see this movie. I knew my wife really wanted to see it, and so today actually is her birthday. Shout out to my wife. I love you, babe. But you know, Jessica Chastain is a great actress. Like, she really is really good. And like, when I watched Miss Sloane, which I wasn't pressed to see that, she did a great job acting in it. And so I was like, I'm not debating her capability. I'm just debating whether or not this is something I'm interested in. I've seen like movies like Ocean's 11. I've seen Casino Royale. I've seen like Casino. You know, like, and this is based on true events. So I was like, how much of this can keep me entertained and immersed? And honestly, the way that it's actually directed, and the way that it's actually paced, and the way that it's actually moves as a film is very entertaining. And I think that with this one versus I, Tonya, with I, Tonya, there's a lot of different moves of quips where like you break the fourth wall and there's like conversation that's happening, dialogue, then it goes back to a flashback, then it goes back to what's happening. And it kind of took me out of the movie a lot, whereas this one, it takes you back to show you how she got to this resolve. Now, I think that from a directing standpoint, like, people are probably going to critique this and be like, a sloppy pacing. But I think I understood personally how that worked hand in hand, because I was the whole entire time trying to get the understanding of this girl, Molly Bloom. That's Jessica Chastain's character. Like, how she comes from, you know, almost getting into the Olympics, having an accident, you know, and then she seems like she's going to law school. Then she gets stuck into this game with the person that helps her. And it's just a trickle effect of, you know, embrace of this, coming against that. And it's just so fascinating that the whole entire time, I really just was immersed about how her story came to be. Now, I was sitting there thinking, this isn't going to end well. But then enters Idris Elba's character in Charlie. Charlie, I think his last name is Jeffrey. He he has a really interesting relationship with Molly, because his daughter really appreciates Molly and is really all into her, and like, he's just like trying to fill her out, trying to figure out why she got stuck in a situation, why she got raided, and whether or not he should go and represent her as his lawyer. And so from there, like, the story just goes back and forth. But I really appreciated it. I actually had a great time, and I was very entertained throughout most of it. It was really interesting because Michael Cera was in a good part of the first act of the movie as one of the big players in it. There's a lot of other notable names, but the only one I can really remember is Justin Kirk and what's that other person's name? I can't even think of his name. But anyway, throughout the whole story that Molly's telling in her trial and before her trial, and even to Idris' character, Charlie, is about how she came into all this money, how she came into getting into the game of the poker rink and excelling and exploiting to a fault, but still keeping an illegal stance. And yet, all throughout the time, like, people's lives are just like in the balance, because it poses a question of morality. Like, what kind of person is Molly Bloom? Was she the person that, you know, exploited all these people, got money from it, you know, and you see in the third act whether or not she makes it out or not. But was that all to her, or was it more than just that? Was it that, you know, she cares about other people? Was it she was trying to work out some deal for somebody else and got caught up into something that she didn't prepare for? Was it that she got whittled into, you know, depression and drugs? Like, what was it? And to be quite honest with you, as a story, as a cemented film, it's a combination of all of those things. I think that's what makes her character so interesting, is that you don't really get her real resolve because she doesn't know who she is. And I think that Kevin Costner as her dad is another really good thing. I think that Kevin Costner does a really good job in this one as dad. He always does a pretty good dad. And Man Still, I thought he was a great dad. But in this one, he's a very complicated dad because he feels so high privileged and accomplished. He's got two, sons that are very accomplished. And he just, from the beginning, try to push everything into Molly. And that put her at this crossroads of life. And you get this amazing scene towards the third act between her and him that I really appreciated. And it, for me, fueled me to give it the rating that I actually ended up giving it. As well as an interesting scene with Idris when they're talking about like everything that she has done and everything he thinks about her. You know what I'm saying? But I think that Jessica Chastain does a great job acting in this one. Like she can own a scene, man. Like when she really gets in, it's just very endearing to see how she can act and how she can get into a character so easily and how she can process data so fast as far as the way she goes off the dialogue, off the script, off the cut. And so the script itself was very smart, and I think that the way they positioned the pacing for it is actually very smart as well. The director for this one was Aaron Sorkin. Aaron did Social Network, and what else was the other movies he did? A Few Good Men, did a couple West Wing episodes, and he also did Moneyball and Steve Jobs as far as the writing and the screenplay for them. And so as far as written is concerned, like this is a very well written film. It's just, I think that from a consumer standpoint, people might not be enthralled if they already know what happened. I think that I, Tonya probably is going to suffer the same thing from people on the outside. But for me, like I had no idea anything about I, Tonya, and I had no anything idea about Molly Bloom. And I felt like this story, which it shouldn't have been, was way more compelling, way more thrilling. And like, I don't know, I was all behind it. By the time they got to the trial, I was just like, I don't know what's going to happen, but she's that girl. Jessica Chastain nails this role. I give the movie an 8 out of 10. I think that, again, like, some people are not going to like the pacing and how it goes back and forth. And I think that some people, if they already know there's no surprise there, it's just like, it's going to be kind of like, all right, we're walking through the settles with it. But for me, from a characterization standpoint and what they had to show me to cement who she is as a person, as a character, I guess as well as they can, because this is based on true events, I thought that they accomplished that very well. I think that some parts could have been avoided. They could have probably cast a couple other people for certain moments where the game was happening, but it wasn't even about the game. It was more so just about her. And so, if anything else, they definitely got her right. So, 8 out of 10 for me. Hopefully, y'all enjoyed this review. Keep it locked. JVS ain't gonna stop. Talk to y'all guys a little bit later on. I got 2 more reviews going. Peace.